And Merry Christmas Eve and all the holiday joys and all those things. Right? Let me explain to you how all this is working. There's a film called Cleopatra. Okay, Cleopatra is a film that was in development for the last 10 years. 10 years it's been in development. Beyonce was supposed to play Cleopatra back when she did Dreamgirls. She was in the running for Cleopatra. And in the movie, they make fun of her actually playing Cleopatra. Beyonce was in the runnings to play Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot is Israeli. She's from Israel. But it's a role that Gal Gadot should have turned down effective immediately. The problem that they're going to have with this film and others like it is the fact that people of color are going to have a complaint about it, as they always have, about people whitewashing their characters and people who don't look like them playing roles they shouldn't play in. The thing is, Zendaya is actually, I think she was a Disney star actress, or I thought she was a musician. But anyway, she looks more like Cleopatra than any of them. Even though I think she's too young for such a role. Who would I cast? I mean, Rihanna would be a perfect choice. Because Rihanna is almost a splitting. If anybody wanted to know what Cleopatra was like, Rihanna. See, Cleopatra, like, people believe that Cleopatra, because she was queen, like, she was the one. Like, she was the last reigning pharaoh because she ruined everything. She got her brother and sister killed. Because she wanted to rule. But because she was a woman, they didn't want her to rule. Her baby brother, who was like 12 years old, was king. And she was forced to marry him, her brother, who's 12. Now her sister, that was the one that everyone looked at as the queen. They followed the sister. I think her name is Ascentaway. Don't hold me on that. But she was the one that was looked at as the leader, the queen. She's the one that led an attack on the kingdom. Like her and her brother, they rallied people together to go up against Cleopatra. Cleopatra slept with Julius Caesar. She slept with Mark Antony, and they ended up taking out Caesar. You know, it's a crazy, crazy story. Nothing about beauty and romance. She merged Europe and Egypt together through sex. She used sex to get what she wanted. And from a high seat of power, it was her demise. She had Mark Antony whipped around her finger. She kept putting it on him. Hey, thanks, Harry. I appreciate it. Yeah, but Gal Gadot playing that role, you know, that's something that a lot of people are going to be upset about. Yeah, see, the movie Gladiator cover up the fact that they go on around the same time. When they used to put people in the Coliseum, you know, wasn't no Maximus down there that they were putting in there. They were putting regular people down there to be slaughtered by tigers or soldiers and all that stuff. I don't know history. Unfortunately, yes, man. I know a lot about history, and it's not the movies. It's very dark, and you know, history has never been what you think. Everything they show you on TV, they putting the whitewash to it. No, it's on PS4. Yeah, it's sugarcoating it. See, people don't want you to know their truth. They're not going to show you a bunch of educational programs on, like, slavery. You do that, then you're exposing the younger people to their history. Their history is mixed with violence and things that they don't want people to know that they did to ascend to power. Now, don't get me wrong. Gal Gadot is a very beautiful, like, beautiful face, model thing. She would sell the look and image of what they would want Cleopatra to look like. But blacks are upset because they want Cleopatra to look like the goddess black woman she was. And be the complexion she's supposed to be. Now, here's the part that y'all leave out. Cleopatra was never that. That's why I keep telling everybody, y'all, everybody gets it confused. Cleopatra was never that. Not at all. Not for a millisecond. Cleopatra was something entirely different. She undermined everything. She the one designed, brought in the Sphinx and changed all the religion and everything. And it led to the end of the pharaohs. Their whole reign, everything they came down to, their beliefs were crushed. But because Cleopatra married a white man and brought him into Egypt, brought in a Roman, married him, and sat him on the throne, I also know she was a half-breed. I told you, when the light-skinned people came into Egypt, the mixed, it brought Egypt down. It changed Egypt. Egypt didn't have this problem beforehand. It's written, it's carved into the walls. The hieroglyphics in the wall tells the stories and the tales of what happens in Egypt. It's on the pyramid. I cannot make it up. It's on the pyramid. They distinctively show you mixed people from white people. And a lot of people think that's when white people came in Egypt. No, they show you when white people came in Egypt because they use a actual different color for white. So you would not be confused from white, from light skin, or mixed. And they show you when they came into Egypt. And when they came in, all the BS that went on. As they were being driven out of their area. Unfortunately, this changed Egypt. Brought in a lot of jealousy from women did not look like the mixed girls. The mixed girls had long hair, some with different colors, some hairs were frizzy, and people looked at them with enviousness. And the men just wanted to sleep with them. So they let them into Egypt and put their husbands to work. The next thing you know, mixed women started rising to power in Egypt. So a lot of things, a lot of problems started happening because of it. A lot of hate, fights. We see it now. Light-skinned mixed girls versus dark-skinned black girls. See it all the time. It's been going on since the beginning of time. It has never changed. So if anybody think it started with Jim Crow, no, Jim Crow is when they started light skin versus black. Been happening since the beginning of time. Hey, I mean, it's history. You can say that's dumb. Yeah. I heard somebody tell me the other day that white people and black people aren't the same species. I'm just like, do you know what species mean? Like, I'm like, Mexicans, black, Indian, white, mixed. We are all the same species. Okay? Oh my God. It's crazy. We're all the same species. Different races, same species. I probably did, Felton. But now they got Gal Gadot. The studio wants to hire her to play Cleopatra. But they're going to have to pull it. They've been trying to do this Cleopatra movie for 10 years. Beyonce was supposed to play it, but I guess they realized Beyonce can't act. And for her to take on such a big role, it would be massive. And now that she's a mom, I don't think Beyonce now will be able to play Cleopatra. People still want Beyonce to be Cleopatra for some reason. It should be Beyonce! I'm like, Rihanna fits that more than her. Oh, no, she's not even close. Cleopatra is not close to being the best. She's the worst pharaoh in the history of all of them. Slaughtered her family, got her brother and sister killed? No way. Her brothers and sisters went to war with her. Her brother and sister teamed up to go against Cleopatra. That's how corrupt she was. No, the best pharaoh that was female. She died a horrible death. But back then, you know, they didn't have any medication for tooth infections, you know, and she basically choked to death on her own, you know. She couldn't swallow anymore. She had an abscess tooth that got infected. I can't remember her name, but they tried to erase her from history because she was a female. And it was all about males running things. So they went and made a pharaoh who wasn't even really a pharaoh and make him, man, they just skip her off. Like, I mean, they in Egypt, they took her face off the stones and just put his there. Tried to erase her, even though she was the one that built everything over there. Like, she was an architect. She was a genius. One of the best pharaohs they had. And they tried to erase her rule. Yeah, well, all these stories that they tell are from Egypt. All Egyptian stories. So when they're not telling the story correctly, these are one of the things that happen that goes in a, wrong direction from time to time. It's quite similar. So they're a lot of the brothers and sisters very upset because when Wonder Woman Part 2 come out, I think it come out tonight. A lot of people are upset. They're upset about a lot of the things that's going on with them whitewashing characters. And they were saying, trying to defend it, like, look at her ethnicity. She's from Israel. She's an Israeli. She has the bloodline, like Egyptian bloodline. But no. So, if they're looking to have the movie in a lot of controversy, then by all means get Gal Gadot. But should she do the movie? Absolutely not. In a time with the climate the way it is, really not good for her to do that movie. I can't wait for Sean to watch Wonder Woman 1984. Sean is going to be so pissed off with this movie. Everybody else is going to be like, man, it was a good movie. And Sean going to be pissed. Because I already can't wait for him to see it. Right, Gal Gadot is not a bad actress. Even though she almost quit Hollywood because she didn't like the role she was getting offered. I mean, don't get me wrong, she would pull the look off to perfection. Have her all jeweled down, Gal Gadot, yeah, she was, everybody, man, she looked gorgeous. But see, here's the thing. Gal Gadot is nice and petite. She don't have the physical form of Cleopatra. Cleopatra was thick-witted. So a Beyonce playing her, Beyonce would have the look of Cleopatra. Them thick thighs. The whole nine. But blacks care about the complexion. She need to be played by a sister. So they've been saying that since, Elizabeth Taylor's performance. So when they were bringing her back to the movies, Beyonce was in talks to play this role. Back when before Dreamgirls even came out. So after Dreamgirls, they decided to go in another direction. Like, I guess the project just didn't jump off. Oh, well, she tried to. Well, yeah, my thing is, I just want to see if it's about a character that didn't have their ethnicity in there. Like, let's say we got a black character to play a white person. They would freak the hell out. You think they liked the fact that when we did the Honeymooners, that they made a black Honeymooners? With Cedric the Entertainer and Mike Epps playing Ralph and Ed Norton. And white people said, well, we didn't really complain. You know why? The people they did complain. White people didn't move. They complained in different ways. They were outraged, and they allowed it to happen because they had been blacklisting, whitewashing characters for so long. They said, okay, well, let's do blackwash. Now, I like the movie they came out with, but to me, it's not the Honeymooners. If you're going to do the Honeymooners, you got to do it the right way. And by the characters being so old, nobody really remembered them anyway. Like, only certain people do. You know, the Flintstones were made off of the Honeymooners. Now, everybody know the Flintstones more than they know the Honeymooners. Now, Idris Elba was supposed to play James Bond and be the new James Bond. White people jumped up in arms because this ain't the Honeymooners. Man, white people got mad. They went to, even though James Bond is a fictional character, they went through explaining why Idris Elba cannot be James Bond. They was like, he is from Essex, and he's from there, his family is from there, and there's no way at that place where he's born that there would be an African American in there. It just, no, it would not. From Essex, it would go against the structure of what James Bond is about. She's right. She's right. Shouldn't be a black James Bond. Because of the character's background. How he was written. Now you see Miss Marvel, who was in the Avengers video game, when it's really about Miss Marvel, that was advertisement getting everybody ready for the new series that's coming on Disney Plus called Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel gonna have her own series. And now with Miss Marvel, what you're gonna end up with Miss Marvel is she's Pakistani. All the people in Pakistan are very happy because now they got a Pakistani who's gonna play a Pakistani character. Now, they would have got somebody like Haley Stansfield to play Miss Marvel, it would have been hell to pay. But you see, they didn't even attempt to do that because they know better. So if you know better with that, why do you keep whitewashing black characters? And happy holidays to everyone else. Oh, this is all promotion. That's why Miss Marvel was like in every there was. The other characters were just side characters. Yeah, LB got here too late. Yeah. Yep, this is exhausted. Exhausted Cino is checking out. I'm playing Santa Claus right now.